All right, hi Divine Feminines, how are you? Tower, Knight of Swords. All right, let's get it going here. Let's get an animal signifier. These energies have been a lot for a lot of people. I hope. Look at speeding up and let it shine. That antelope energy has been coming out a lot. Okay, we have dove, yes, flamingo, and we got cow once again. So now I'm getting hiccups. Porcupine at the bottom of the deck. Be peace, embrace the in-between, and miracles are endless. Time for a beginner's mind. There's two cards in that deck that make me feel like the full energy, and that's one of them. I don't know if you saw the reading I did. I think it didn't post till last night, but it was a remarkable reading of the Twin Flame Oracle Pathway to Union. I forget what they call it. Take Me Home Pathway. All right. You have partnership. So we haven't had this card. Speaking of union, teamwork will give you a better result. Find trustworthy people to partner with. Build a talented support team. He has leadership with those Aurora Borealis lights. Step into your leadership. I think we had that recently. And then gentleness. Be kind to yourself and others. Bottom of the deck is miracles with, again, the Aurora lights. I don't know. I felt like that reading yesterday, it really had a very different flavor. You know, I really like readings that give you, that aren't just, yeah, he's thinking of you. Yeah, he loves you. Yeah, this isn't why he doesn't want to be with you. Though I know those have been helpful on my journey and many other journeys. It's just, I think the only thing that kind of moves you forward out of the pain of a lot of it is the actual work. Okay. And what you can look at, we got this in that reading. Practice self-love, 10-10, nurture your inner child. 2-2, Voyager's Journey, past life healing. 1-1, clear energy blocks, activating the higher chakras. I think these two are in that reading. And then this one was actually, I believe, the bottom of the deck yesterday. So, Holy Grail Code, receiving the gift. It's a beautiful, very long reading. And I felt like it had hit and brought me back to a lot of points along the journey that maybe I needed to reflect on and integrate more the lessons I had learned. Because I do feel like there's a lot of integration going on right now. All right. We have 5 of Wands, 8 of Pentacles, Justice upright, 3 of Swords. It is kind of an integration spread to me. 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, Emperor, Queen of Wands, Moon. Judgment with the Hierophant. Bottom of the deck is 10 of Cups. What is going? 6 of Swords, Queen of Cups, the Devil, and King of Pentacles. Wow, this is a really crazy reading. Maybe I feel like, okay, we'll start at the beginning when I feel there is a lot of legal energy here. We have justice and judgment. And, you know, there are many, many ways things can be made, quote unquote, fair. There are many ways, many different sets of laws, right? There's man's law, God's law, universal law, physical law, and double moon again. 2 cards of balance. Bottom of the deck is blossoming abundance reversed and the heart chakra reversed. So things appear to be getting unstuck, at least intuitively. We've got a lot of Cancer, Pisces, Earth sign, and Libra energy here. Scorpio, Virgo, and the fire signs. Okay, so I will say I feel like there have been things that have gone on in your life or in this connection, or both, that did not go the way that you thought they would go at all. And some of that was there to show you. So whenever I use the word block around energy, it's not a correct word. What it is, what I'm getting to learn is it's more of a suppression that's kind of being held energetically. What does that mean, suppression? It means that there are things that are yet to be expressed. Okay, so let's not make it into more than it is. You know, the more I work with energy, the more I find it's so fluid and it's so responsive to us. It is us, right? So it is both in us and in everything. And so I see that you have felt somewhat trapped or blocked or suppressed or restricted here, possibly by moves that other people have made. Now, that's how I want to say it. That's the way it's coming. There may have been things revealed to you that other people have done that you possibly trusted or wanted to trust, and you ended up, it could be your masculine, it could be other people. That if I had to guess in this situation, it probably would be family, probably on your dad's side. If that doesn't apply, that's fine. Could be a husband or any kind of father figure, a boss, is what seems to be coming up. There seems to be some treatment here where you felt taken advantage of in some way. If that doesn't apply, don't take that message, okay? It does seem like this was for your benefit, because part of you really wasn't totally embracing that you are so very capable, loved, you know, that you're a master at your own life. There was a part of you that just wasn't allowing and was almost fighting internally the fact that there's so much of you that's beautiful in this world, no matter what it is you do. Like, they're showing me many different things. It's like you could crochet, you could run a Fortune 500 company, you could write in solitude in the woods, and you could be a speaker on a stage of thousands. It doesn't matter at all what you do. What it matters is that it resonates in harmony with the truest parts of you as you came into this life. Now, whenever we talk about authenticity, I always have this kind of caveat here that it is a process for most to get to, right, these things. These are the bottoms of the deck here. We don't always just have this core strength, confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, courage. We don't always know exactly who we are. And that can change, and it can transform, transition. And how does that change usually happen? Through events, events to show you what you're made of. And a lot of people would say that many bad things that happen to you are actually divine gifts. And I've heard along my journey many spiritual teachers say that. And until something really bad, I will say I've had really difficult things to deal with my whole life. And it's only in comparison to other people is that's not normal, right? You see that, oh, not everybody has this kind of level of trauma or, betrayal, all of that stuff. But many, many, many spiritual teachers I've heard speak along the way have come to the point of being so very thankful for people that did very, what we would judge as, and I went through, I think yesterday, a very long passage about judgment and how it doesn't serve you, but things that we would call bad end up being the biggest blessing of their lives, right? Abraham Hicks talks about this all of the time. And it's very, very hard to see that when we're trapped in the ego, we're trapped in the emotion, we're trapped in victim mentality. And, I'm speaking to a small group of people that are on the twin flame journey to heal and love themselves, right? That's, in my opinion, what the work of this journey actually is. It's to love yourself enough to be your authentic self, even when it's not liked, appreciated, or understood. And, that's a really difficult thing to do in this world. I think as you get older, it gets easier, but it's never, especially and if your family isn't doing the healing work, it's very challenging. But it does appear here that there was something that occurred at the hands of another person, is what I want to say. A person that controls something. And this created within you quite an energy suppression. And it also brought to your attention old limiting beliefs. And there is something here that's very healing for you as you dive into these, I personally love this combination of cards because the Queen of Wands to me is that creative energy, that spiritual spark, that baddie that is like, I'm going to create this life I want. Possibly from the reflection of energy that maybe wasn't mine, right? The moon is always about reflected light. And yes, it is about feminine energy. It's about shadow, right? But always on this card, I am reminded of the dark and the white wolves, and the one that, grows is the one that you feed. And here you kind of have to make a decision. Well, which shore are you going to swim to? Which wolf are you going to go towards? Now, we know there's no light without dark. It's not like you're going to pick all light and the darkness is just going to vanish, because that can't happen. But it seems to me here that there's a choice, right? This is the Empress card to me in this deck. This is emotional fulfillment. Are you the person that is going to go after your emotional fulfillment? And even if this masculine hasn't been able to, and still maybe will not be able to, give you the type of security and relationship that you want. Because I see here, there's a coming back around, right? There's a coming back around. It's like, I hear like settling debts, but I don't think it's a monetary debt. Let's find out what it actually is. I don't know that any of these decks right here are going to give me the answer that I want. I mean, I don't want a certain answer, but I want clarity, and there's only so much these decks can do. All right. Look at release your ex, forgiving and learning are the only ones upright. So we have retreat, keep an open mind, free yourself, and unrequited love. And maybe that you had a lot of difficulty letting go, because I do see that letting go energy is present in this reading. And that's been challenging with whatever has happened. And it's also that there's been a lot of question, it seems. Like, I don't see swords here. Oh, I do see swords. Okay. In your heart and mind, I want to say that it's been difficult to let go of the pain and see the truth. So much about finding balance. Some of you may be moving or thinking about moving. Challenging times and love abounds. Wow. Change your focus. That's so crazy. It's always, this tarot is so crazy, because I just did and posted a video about focus. I actually did about 10 different videos, and a lot of them were about focus, and then the one I posted was just about money. But you know, your reticular activating system is what you tell your brain to focus on. And the thing about the twin flame journey is, you know, so we have 8855, and then we have a 1 and a 2 and a 7. So you get all these signs and synchronicities, usually like more in the beginning, but you know, I've had them a lot the whole way through. And it's not like in the beginning you even know to look for them. You just are like bombarded by this like soul, your soul showing you these signs and synchronicities. And as you start to look for things, look at, there's that nautilus shell. To the sea. You find what you were looking for, unless you are believing that it's not there, and then you find the lack of what you're looking for. But it shows here that there's a lot of spiritual energy. I'm getting like Neptunian and Uranian energy. Healing and mending the parts of you that there's a lot of things that haven't been said. And God, what did I say now? I said something in the beginning like that, like there were things yet to be expressed. Okay, this is this card here. Things yet to be expressed. Truth be told. I think you're going to see some big parts where it's like, they're showing me kind of like looking behind the curtain of the Wizard of Oz. Like seeing the man behind the curtain. You're about to see, oh God, okay. I don't really know why they're showing me this. You're going to see things much more clearly. it's like almost a loop you've been trapped in about how you've been seeing yourself and how you've been seeing your masculine. And you're about to see your masculine for like who he really is. It's going to be both two things simultaneously, okay? You're going to understand how you've been creating a lot of what you would blame as drama on him yourself. But you're also going to see it's like you have an unmet need here that was kind of being expressed dominantly. Does that make sense? And part of that is like all of the fairy tales we've been programmed with to believe tied into like our worthiness. I will say, I do feel that there's kind of a thread woven in all of this through it. You know, they're just pointing out that there's a golden mask here, right? And there's rose petals. And there's this like blue sky that we see here also. It's kind of an idea that a lot of people think happiness is the absence of problems. But they're saying it's really not. It's really more of this belief that the problem, you're not the problem, and the problem isn't you. The problem is just something created by an intersection of our beliefs and our goals, something like that. And it never will be a problem-free situation, so you might as well get really real about your goals and your desires and really have them be very, very authentic. And if you have been feeling very tired and very drained and like, I don't want to do this anymore type energy, it's because they're saying to me that the goals that you're having are not authentic. So that's a very big insight that came out of nowhere. And part of it's that you may be holding on to old versions of yourself that you believed you were, especially in relation to other relationships. It's like if you had boyfriends or girlfriends or people that, or even friends that they needed you to be, and family relationships, they're saying, if you needed to be a certain way to get this love, and we touched on this yesterday, but it's like, that person may have long be gone out of your life, and you may still be believing that you have to be this particular way. I mean, this could even be from your childhood. You may have to be this particular way in order to have this love, right? And those are beliefs you're projecting, a lot of them onto your masculine. And there's a codependency in there about, holy moly, this got really deep. You're actually giving, like in people pleasing, you're giving that kind of fake version of yourself to get what you perceive as love, okay? This is like ultra high levels of self-responsibility. I'm going to tell you, this isn't for everybody. If you can look at that, you're High Priestess of Air right here. Do you see? I said that word focus, and here's this card. They're saying you're just focused on the wrong thing. And that's why you're getting it. And part of why you're getting it is that, look at it. High Priestess of Air, High Priestess of Water, wishing. You're giving to wish and hope that, and summon fulfillment, right? And that fulfillment is, with the pomegranate and the wine, is leading me to think that it's about the body being fulfilled. We have reminder in reverse, listening in reverse, and obedience upright with the scales again. Why so many scales, Spirit? Let's see if this will give me answers. Which one? That one or this one? This one? Okay. Feel a very esoteric energy. There is Jupiter Kazemi tomorrow. Expansion. You work with your energy. Look at unconditional love in reverse. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Be fearless. Shadow self. Strength. Intuition in reverse. Gratitude. Cosmic connection in reverse. Free spirit. Walk your truth. That's the card I saw on the top of the deck when I was looking at this deck. So, unconditional love. We always come back to that being the goal of the Twin Flame journey. Unconditional love, you can't give, you can't expect anything, you can't give to get. You simply must give the truth of your heart. And coming to that balance point, all right, Spirit, thank you. Coming to that balance point is knowing that you are loved, that you are worthy of all love, and that everyone is worthy of love, and there's no performance or expectations or needs that need to be met from love. Right? Love just is. Love is its own reward. And all we're really ever doing is loving, right? You can't really control if someone loves you. And that narcissist empath paradigm is really more about control than it is about love, or you know, everybody in victim mode, and I have been there, so I'm not judging anybody, when they've dealt with a narcissistic paradigm, says, well, they were giving things in the beginning and then they took them away. They're just pointing out that people pleasing is the same thing, basically. Look at, oh my God, that's the fourth card. Balance, mercy, courage, again, benediction, romance, intention, willpower. Well, retreat for the second time, meditation. Interesting cards. You know, that benediction card is always, for me, about you having your own power, your own agency, your own free will, your own independent ability to choose your life. And that it takes courage to authentically choose. The ever unfolding rose. It's happening for you, not to you. The age of light, pillar of light, the initiation, align your life, take a break, dance, yes, inner temple, and play. So an important thing about play is that play is the opposite of trauma. This is what I have learned, and that all of your manifestations come from your inner child. a lot of what you're going to see is how we've been programmed, and they're specifically bringing up like stress and drama and financial pressures, and we just have been very, very programmed, and your masculine too has been very programmed to understand problems, you know, to define life by problems or the absence of problems. And so they're kind of highlighting romance here, and that a lot of you have been missing the romantic part of life, the romance of life and mystery. And you know, they're bringing up this card that it says rites of passage. You're going somewhere sacred. And this card says, what is no longer in alignment with who you truly are? Question mark. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. Just say yes and do something to shift your vibration. So a lot of the time when we're stuck in a pattern, and that could be that we're holding back and not able to speak our truth. We do kind of need to get out of the stuck place that we're in, it's like we're in a holding pattern a lot of the time, just waiting for problems to happen. And I think your masculine is dealing with some problems here. And I'm finding it very hard to speak because I feel there's a strong romantic desire coming through from the masculine. And normally where I see the gold thread connecting you guys, it definitely has like a red glow to it, and I can see that there's a very strong root chakra light lit up. There's a lot of desire present. And I think one of the reasons that the gold thing is coming up is that, and this came to me last night, you know, many of you have situations where the traditional paradigm of like, you meet, you fall in love, get engaged, get married, have kids, die together type, you know, build a life. It's not going to be the story that is with your masculine. And I know that personally, that's my story too, and that it is a very bittersweet feeling to know that that won't ever be for you. Now, for some of you, it will. But they're saying if it's like that, that's on purpose. This is not a mistake or an error or a problem. It's very much the way that it's been designed to be. And they're really, really pointing out like your life needs to be a yes to you. It needs to be playful, emotionally fulfilling, abundant. It needs to be romantic. And this is you to you, okay? If you're not seeing these things reflected in your own life, it's because you haven't put them there. And I know it's quite strange sometimes. We're so busy healing and being these kind of very fierce warriors in our own right, You know, that's the way I see it, because we have the courage to do what most people do not. And that is to like face our own demons, face our own shadow, right? Shadow self right here, right in the middle, with fearless high priestess of air and water and strength while flanking it. It may be that you going in the direction of unconditional love for your inner child, and I hope to come up with another word for this. To me, inner child is synonymous with the high heart feelings and the subconscious. They're all kind of in the same realm to me, and it more lines up with like the stars of a constellation than all together, like in a thing. But your inner child is very grateful. Like, they're wanting me to point this out to you. Your inner child is naturally grateful. And when you take the time to have gratitude, to do a gratitude practice, it's nourishing to the inner child, because that's a natural state for your inner child to be in. You know, children find wonder in a roly-poly bug, or a wonderful hot chocolate, or a soft blanket, or the waves. You know, there's so many things, simple things that our inner child loves. And I know for me, I want to make like a summer list. So that may be something you're wanting to experience. You want to make an inner child. I don't know what else to call it besides bucket list, but maybe a goal list of things you could do that would really bring joy and unconditional love, right? Unconditional love is so much more. You know, these are really interesting cards. Unconditional love is so much more than buying stuff, and that's not what it is at all. It's more about time and attention and care and the things you really want from your partner. And they're saying, you know, the more you can give those to yourself right now, over the next like 3 months, the more you're going to feel those reflected in your outer verse, your universe. And you're going to see them coming back to you, because our inner child gives our energy. It gives our manifestations. It's where we create from. And we just, as adults, we take, and we fall. The hair fall for me is these very rigid adult structures we've built, right? All of our rules, all of our laws, all of our, you know, sanctions, and this is what commitment means, and this is how we have to live. We have to pay these taxes. That's, for me, that's what that is. And it's saying, like, you know, we got that card dance, and it's like, this is almost, to me, your inner child being expressed here. Yes, it's a judgment card. It's not the meaning of the card, but to me, this is what I feel like you. It's kind of crazy, because I talked about the constellations all being in a line, and that's literally what I saw right there. It's that you coming back to life because you allowed yourself to feel. And it's maybe like, it's making me want to cry now. Is that maybe that you go to a beautiful spot in nature and you allow yourself to like write a poem or a letter or listen to beautiful music and tap into that place inside of yourself. That's, you know, that feels like that. So I also did I talked about it yesterday about how I did a carousel and it's not finished yet because I can't quite get the words right, but how hard it is to get to the feeling place of something you want but haven't yet experienced. And what was coming through is because we have suppressed emotions around that thing. That is what a block is. It's a trapped expression of your feelings. And so you're going to need to find a way to connect to your inner child and allow this expression of these feelings that your child self, your younger self, your emotional self was not allowed to experience. And as I am doing this, you can hear my daughter in the other room just being so silly and crazy. And I love it, but it's like she always decides to pick my reading times to do these things. So, you know, Spirit really wants you to know that we aren't meant to lose that carefree, joyful part of ourselves when we grow up. We've been programmed to believe that. And so we're going to get some messages from your divine masculine. And these are his inner child, I think, speaking to you. You deserve better, right? There's a huge fear about that. I had kind of a breakthrough in yesterday's reading that was around that from what came up. And again, for me, it was a really crazy reading. So you deserve better. People don't believe in me. I long for your kiss. And what is the truth? The kiss for me, what do you see in me, is that it sounds so weird because we use this word child, but we don't, as adults, know how to explain carefree joy except as thinking about how we felt as a child. And as I just said, we're not meant to lose that joy. And if you've kissed, or when he thinks of being physically with you, even if that isn't necessarily in that romantic capacity, you spark an inner child joy in him that he feels. And I'm sure that you feel it too, because we don't experience that a lot. Okay, if I could go back in time, I would use a different ways to deal with our problems. You are so different from everyone around me. Don't wait for me, please. I wish I could be fully honest with you. Look at those two things fell right here. I had to let you go so I could truly find myself. You've triggered me. And I don't think I look at triggered, drama, drugs and alcohol. I don't want to be alone, codependency. This is all the shadows. My life is a mess. I can't let go of you and I can't talk to you. Why can't I tell you the truth? The truth is he has a lot of shame around his shadow, right? As we all do. That's why it's our shadow. Now, the shadow isn't always things like drugs, alcohol, codependency. Sorry for the noise. But there's a great desire from his inner child to tell you the truth about his feelings. And I feel like this is so correlated to what I've been saying in this reading. In order for him to unlock and unblock those feelings and express them, you're going to need to do that to your inner child. I don't think I've ever had a reading that was as straightforward as this one with the messaging coming through. And it's weird because it's a weird message in a way, you know, like it's an odd message, but it's so strong. Soul connections, I wanted to call you, they're manifesting you, I write texts and I delete them. These are all things that Spirit's asking you to do, by the way. Sometimes I think you're talking to me, to yourself, not to them. You're so spiritual, my friend, so I'm not over you. And I will say, Did I wait too long? Pleiadian, law of gestation. This is intense. Part of his fear is that if this is rekindled or brought back to life, that this intensity, it almost feels like it's going to overwhelm him to the point that he won't be able to function. Scared with their family, we'll say. Tried to move on and it failed. I looked up twin flames. Okay, so let's get advice. Hopefully it's not too loud on your side. And I like that. This feels like this inner child joy that I'm talking about, that I'm hearing. I can feel the adult part of me being like really irritated. All right, you are good enough. Full moon in Virgo. Take time to breathe out. Disseminating moon. Bring love into the situation. Emotions are running high. This energy is gaining momentum. So you can probably feel it. You can probably feel this energy around you. Because I kind of get that feeling with this You Are Good Enough card. There's these breakthroughs. I feel like they've been being made. And I made the analogy yesterday in the reading about the Russian doll. And that it was a beautiful analogy that Spirit gave me, is that, you know, you as a child, you're this pure light. You're the tiny doll. And each layer we put on top of it is masking and dimming our light more and more for other people, right? And the healing of being good enough comes off in layers, like the doll. Okay, so we have Pele. That's beautiful. Divine passion. Be honest with yourself. What's your heart's truest desires? And he has Athena again with the owl. The owl's been with him now for a while. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. I actually think they've had several spiritual awakenings, and then we have compassion that the owl has brought to the masculine with the third eye. Release judgments about yourself and others, and you can't make it up. There's the third focus word right there. I want you to be really, really careful about what you choose to focus on right now, because you're very, very powerful. And Kuan Yin's bringing you wisdom here with this pink lotus. Release judgments about yourself and others and focus on the love and light that is within everyone. Right? I already said that in this reading. Easy does it. There's no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing. Man, do we just love divine timing or what? Let's get a few of these. Now I hope like you are inspired to embrace some play this weekend. Imagine with the fairy, you are gifted, that third eye, and then best friends. True friends stick together no matter what, and wish upon a star is on the bottom of the deck. And then we have, you know, I think that the masculine's waking up to his intelligence and talent. You know, I think in a lot of ways, look at that, Odin. That's the most powerful psychic card in this deck. Wow, big energies. You have devotion. Trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Isn't that beautiful? Psychic insight. Your third eye is open. See the truth for what it is. Follow your intuition. As soon as you see the truth for what it is, that you are good enough, you are loved, and your inner child is so worthy of everything you can give it, he's going to understand that too. And I think this is just such a beautiful reading. Your inner guidance is coming through loud and clear. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. So Isis and Horus are really the most powerful cards, in my opinion, in that deck. And I love Sanat Kumara and I love Odin. Those are really, really powerful energies. Like I would say for you to be devoted to yourself is great. Morganite, relationship healing, trust, prehenite, and empowerment sunstone. Bottom of the deck is rhodochrostite, acceptance. So you can use these energies, call them in, ask them to give you their insight. Oh, I have one that doesn't belong here. Okay. We have Earth and Water Dragon, Golden Orange Dragon, Fire Dragon. Bottom of the deck is Earth and Fire Dragon. So very interesting. This is, of course, what I told you, like the quill with the pen. I've had several cards that have said he's writing something. Creates a foundation for new growth. A fresh start is coming with new opportunities. Nurture your ideas and harvest the abundance. And this is expands your light for ascension. Be a peaceful warrior. Help those in need. That's not what I want. Remember your magnificence. So a lot of cards about him remembering who he is. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clears your soul's pathway. And here we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times we must accept things as they are. There's no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Manifesting miracles. Your dream is soon to become reality. Trust your heart and continue to follow its guidance. Romance. Cupid's arrow strikes. And then when it comes to matters of the heart, there's no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. So there you have it. I think there was beautiful messages today, and I so appreciate you and send you love and blessings as you are on your journey. Know that you are just doing the most amazing work. I truly believe that healing your pain, healing is the most noble work you can do for humanity. I know that sounds like a really big statement, but I truly believe that so much of our world would be better if we were all doing this work, and it's very courageous. All right, lots of love. Bye for now.